You are watching Oklahoma's News Channel 4 at 4:30.
And the top stories on Oklahoma's News Channel for the Seattle Sonics basketball team sold to Oklahoma City investors. What that move means for our state. And when couples tie the knot, money becomes a huge issue. How newlyweds can marry their money and stay financially sound. And sibling spacing. Is it better to have them close in age or farther apart? Issues to consider to make the best decisions for your family. But I'll tell you what, we begin today with major news in the sports world. An Oklahoma City investment group has bought the Seattle Supersonics basketball team. Sports director Bob Berry Jr. is following that story. He's got all the details. He's live from the Ford Center. Bobby?
Linda, do we have a couple of hours? I wish we did. I could share them with you. Let's tell you what happened first and foremost today. And the story broke out of the Pacific Northwest part of the country in Seattle, where a group of Oklahoma City businessmen led by Clay Bennett, who was the guy who was very instrumental in bringing the Hornets to Oklahoma City. But this group now, called the Basketball Club of Oklahoma City, has purchased the Seattle Supersonics NBA basketball team for a reported $350 million. So right away you go, wow, what does that mean for the Hornets? Where will the Sonics play? And I think we have 2 or 3 different scenarios here. They're going to have a news conference in about 30 minutes in Seattle that we will carry live for you right here on Oklahoma's News Channel 4, where Clay Bennett and the others from the Oklahoma City group will say they've not only bought the Seattle Supersonics, but also the WNBA team, the Seattle Storm, which is part of the package, and that they will work feverishly to keep those teams in Seattle. They'll work for a year on getting a brand new arena built in the state of Washington to keep those teams up there. Now, does that mean those teams will definitely stay in Seattle? Well, obviously, we don't know that. They have to get a new arena agreement first. Let's show you Seattle stars for the Supersonics. If you've been following the team, you realize that Ray Allen is the main player for Seattle. He's a 3-point specialist and a perennial NBA All-Star. And another great player for them is Rashard Lewis. But this has no effect whatsoever. This sale of the Sonics to an Oklahoma City group, this has no effect whatsoever on the Hornets as we bring it back to me. The Hornets are not involved in this whatsoever. And I spoke to Michael Thompson, the director of corporate communications for the Hornets moments ago. He says this affects us in no way at all. We're going to be here next year to play basketball. We plan on returning to New Orleans after this next season, and it has no effect on the Hornets. So does that mean the Hornets work out and end up playing in Oklahoma City next year and going back to New Orleans? Seattle comes up with a new arena and the team stays up there even though they're owned by an Oklahoma City group, and Oklahoma City is left without an NBA team? That is a very real possibility. So it's just a game of dominoes, and which way they'll fall, we'll certainly be on top of it and have more for you, including that live news conference from Seattle coming up at 5 o'clock. Back to you, Linda.
But Bobby, it seems like this gives us a good bargaining chip now.
Well, it means, as the mayor has said earlier today, and we're going to hear those comments, he said, it obviously is the step in the right direction for Oklahoma City to secure an NBA franchise in the future. But that might be going a season or so without an NBA franchise if the Hornets go to New Orleans. I'm still one, and I'm speaking editorially now, that don't think the Hornets will go back to New Orleans because I don't think that city will be ready. But there's so many different scenarios. If the state of Washington doesn't come up with an arena, then the Sonics have to move somewhere. And it seems sure that if the group from Oklahoma City buys them and they can't come up with a new arena agreement there, they'll bring them to Oklahoma City if the Hornets ship out. So it's a bunch of he said, she said, who said. We'll find out, and we'll have more with that news conference later.
Well, Bobby said. Thank you very much. And stay tuned, because tonight at 5, Oklahoma City Mayor Mick Cornett will react on the Sonic sale. And then tonight at 6, we head to Bricktown to look more at the economic impact that a permanent NBA team could have on our city.